Oh, back up.
Oh, maybe. I was like, do I want backup?
Maybe.
Actually, maybe if I like move this way. Is that okay? Awesome. Yeah. Oh. There we go. I think so. Hi. Welcome to our 4:30 spotlight. The sun in just the right spot. I think so. Welcome to August Vital Living Spiritual Gathering. We're going to start with our, let's see, our little,
All right.
our little song, our little welcome opening song. Okay. Who remembers it? New people? There's a few new people here, I think. Maybe. Hi. So it's just a very short song. These are the words, easy to follow along. So it's share your love, clear the static away, embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way, mahalo, mahalo, aloha a. With it 3 times. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha e. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha e. One more time. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha e. Thank you. Thanks, Kendall. We'll have her back in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. It might keep falling. So we're gathering in the last couple years on the 3rd Sunday of every month, and we're shifting our Vital Living gatherings to actually the 4 times a year. 4 times? August, November, February, and May. Right. August, November, 4 times a year. And having the gatherings be just a little bit different. But what we've been doing is having a theme or a word to contemplate for our spiritual growth and our way of putting some intention into something particular. And this month was about commitment. And so we're going to do a few things today, but one of the things is to really think about our spiritual commitment in our lives in an everyday kind of a way. So I think we'll start with a little prayer. So if we can, take a minute and close our eyes and take some nice deep breaths. As it just keeps falling, I can use this one. I'll just use this one. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So let's close our eyes and take a nice deep breath. And just let your breath be gentle and peaceful in your body, in your heart, in your mind, in your whole being. So in that peaceful place, we can feel the inseparability in everything, and we can bring all life and all beings into our space right now and know that we are infinitely connected in all ways. So with every breath, we honor our teachers, our ancestors, the past that has brought us here today, all life that has contributed to us being here, present, right now. And allow the breath to connect us near and far, in challenging, tragic times, in happy, joyful times, in all the times together, all the yin, all the yang, all the male, all the female, masculine, feminine energies, dark, light. Bring it all into the wholeness, into our being. And in cultivating that vital energy for practicing sacredness in everything we do. And allowing this cultivation for the benefit of all beings at all times. And with the breath, feel nature and life around us and the bountifulness and the blessings that we have and the beauty and the pain and all of it. All of it, take it all deep into our heart. Know that our heart is big enough. Sometimes it breaks and then it opens even bigger. And allow us to take this all in this moment, in this now. People here at Anahulu Farms with us and present in space and form, and those in live stream and out there in the world that aren't here with us right now are also connected, inseparable in the wholeness of all that is. And let's take a moment in the silence to also bring anyone in, just call them by name, into our hearts, into our prayers. And with a deep exhale, big mahalo for being here now. And slowly open your eyes when you're ready. So in that peaceful space, since we have this little small group, I was hoping we could just start with a little sharing. We could just, for a moment, take a pause and think about something you've committed to in this past year, or in this past month, or even it could be in this past week, and think about commitment or feel about commitment for a moment. Because commitment is a little different, I think, than intention. Intention is very powerful, and making a promise is also extremely powerful. But commitment to me means something just a little bit more. I was sort of exploring it in my own life and thinking, well, okay, well, I've made promises. And I haven't always kept every promise I've made. And I've definitely had a lot of intentions. And then I've had commitments. And what's the difference? And I was sort of exploring what the difference was between that commitment and those other things that I did, promises or intentions. And for me, what I realized for commitment, it was that something I was so deeply dedicated to, that I continued no matter what else and what other distractions or aversions or challenges would come up. It was almost like not a choice, that I really was dedicated to that in my life. And I was like, what am I so committed to? Because you can commit to things and then uncommit to them, right? And then I sort of took an examination of that and thought, okay, well, I've committed to this. I thought I committed, but then maybe I didn't commit, because if I committed, then how could I uncommit to it? And why did I uncommit to it? And I really took this sort of month or this time to look at what are the things that I uncommitted to, and why was that? Was it because I wasn't sure what I was committing to? So I wasn't clear when I committed to it, or I thought, well, maybe another commitment just trumped the other commitment. It just was like more powerful than that other commitment, and that other commitment had to change, right? And of course we do change. We do change commitments, and we do change promises and intentions and things like that. But I thought we could just take a moment and look and maybe just share a word or a sentence or a little something about a commitment that we have made. And in this corner here, there's a little art station, and we'll see how much time we have at the end. And I don't know if anyone brought their vision boards, but in January of this year in Vital Living Gathering, we made vision boards, and we had white paper, and we had lots of magazines, not more than we have right there, but we had lots of magazines, and people would glue stick a lot of different words on them. And mine came out right over there in the corner. It's been up on my refrigerator all year. And I kind of go to my refrigerator a lot. So every time I go there, I look at another word and I'm like, oh, what was that about? And then, am I carrying that through? Am I dedicated? And where is that leading me? And how is that impacting my actions, my everyday actions and feelings and thoughts and everything? So I invite you to do that. I will share mine. I mean, we can just go around for a moment, and you can, if you don't mind sharing, that would be wonderful. So I thought, what was my deepest commitment? And I was on a little hike with a friend, and I said, what I'm really dedicated to, and my husband can attest to that as well. Like, I'm just really dedicated and committed to empowering people and allowing them to see the wholeness and the inseparability of all of it. And that's why I'm a workaholic and I work so much because I'm dedicated to it. I'm committed to it. I just love it so much. And if someone said, well, what about this or what about that? Well, that really is what I dedicate my life to. I feel like people deserve to be empowered, and they were born in that way, and then things get taken away from them or get shifted, and they forget sometimes, or that things they get distracted. But really, when it comes down to it, we're very powerful, and our energy and our vital energy that we share with each other can just move mountains and do miracles and create magic and mystery all the time, right? So that's kind of what I realized that I really am committed to in my life. So could we have some sharing? That would be great. You can just, yeah. I am very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I agree. Anyone, Carlos, you want to share anything about? Okay. Hey, congratulations. A commitment that was made a while ago is now coming to fruition in November. Thank you. Wonderful. Great. So, yeah, so daily commitments, all the little commitments, all the time. So juggling commitments. It is, and that's another thing, is like that really I was also looking at when you look at your commitments, it really tells you a lot about yourself, right? Because something you thought was really important, which is still important, you then get to feel, well, maybe something else was just a little bit more important. And that's not a bad or good thing, but it is just a thing. Or maybe it's more important right now, and then it'll be different later. But like it's a timing. There's a time or a season for this commitment, and that commitment's still there, but it's going to shift. And you haven't like let go of that commitment. You've just changed it a little. You've just allowed it more space to be bigger. Like, I don't have it to do it right now, but I'm going to do it. I'm taking, like, if I'll go on a vacation, which I don't go on much, but if I can still do that commitment. Maybe just not for that week or that month or that time, but it's not like I'm dropping that commitment. So it's just about juggling them. Great. Great. Committing to self. That's a big one. It's sometimes it's sort of
Harder than it seems.
yes. It seems like maybe committing to self would be so easy, but it's actually sometimes gets put on the lowest part of the burner because we're mothers or we're friends or we're daughters or we're people that want to take care of others and it's maybe it even seems a little selfish sometimes, but it's really very self-loving, and that will take care of all the other things you need to do. So wonderful. Yes. Other committing to the Aina, committing to the land. We need that because we're kind of custodians of all of this, right? I don't know if they were owners of any of it, but we're definitely custodians. So we need to do a lot of caring for all kinds of things ourselves and the land for sure, and each other. Wonderful. Thank you.
I think this year I committed to kind of connecting the outer, like you, I work a lot and I love to serve and empower others, but connecting that outer work to my inner self and bringing that, the compassion and curiosity and love I give to others to myself. So kind of what Amanda said about connecting us.
Connecting the inner and the outer worlds and balancing it, huh? That's a great commitment. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, I see a hand back there. Yes. Yep. Changing the way you look at. Mm. It's really important sometimes, I think, to make these commitments out verbally, out loud, or to share with your family or your friends or your support system, because then they understand you more, right? If they don't feel like you're selfish or whatever, or they don't feel like, what, we do need support, that's to help us get into that cold plunge, right? Or to help support us in our nourishment changes, it's easy to, yeah. And yes, commitment to the wow. That's a good one too. Thank you. Committing to health and committing to ourselves and committing to the Aina and committing to each other. This is beautiful. Yes. Anyone in this corner want to share something?
Like Nigel and Vicky, big commitment right now to the land. Amazing, very exciting. But I was actually really aligned. Like the first thing that came to me was really aligned. What others said was
Wonderful. Commitment to change, that's a good one, actually. Because sometimes commitments is just solid things, but, just to change. Shannon?
My biggest commitment has remained my kids, and other commitments come and go and shift, and I'm always trying to like figure out how to keep putting that commitment with them on top. Yeah, and
Yeah.
creating a peaceful environment.
Yeah, how to integrate family, right? Or kids and family into all kinds of things. There's someone rolling in here. Maybe somebody can help out. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I think that we have a lot of different sharing today. I just want to mention the vision board thing right here. So at the end, or if you feel called to, there is some white paper, and then there are some things you can use the magazines or you can just write in pen in different areas of the whiteboard or the white paper or whatever it is about. When you say vision, if you have something that you want to put out there, like if you want to put the land there, or you want to put a person there, or a thought, or just a concept, and then you can keep branching off of it and keep expanding on it and exploring it as time goes on. So hi, thanks for joining. That's okay. That's great. Have a seat. Welcome. We were just we were just talking a little bit about commitment and about what things we're committed to, and people shared about committing to the Aina, to the land, and to health, and to themselves, and to each other, and to each moment, changing moment as it comes along. And I think a deep right now part of commitment that's happening for us and involves all of that actually is something I'm sure we're all aware of that's been happening on Maui, and it's a very challenging and very tragic time for our Aina and for our people, and whenever there's deep tragedy, I feel like we have to look into our hearts, because we could sit around. I could feel like sometimes I could sit around all day. I've heard a lot of stories that have touched me so deeply, and I could just, I didn't even want to go to work, even though my biggest dedication is to going to work and commitment to helping, people. But I just wanted to sit, sort of cry all week, actually. And then I felt like there's this really silly movie. I always bring up these funny little Disney movies because I'm such a funny person like that. And this movie, Inside Out, I think actually there's a part 2 coming up, but Inside Out is a little movie about the emotions. Right. And it's just this cute little movie. I think I've watched it so many times, and and it's because in that movie, the heroine or whoever is actually the little blue character, Sadness. And Joy, who I associate with a lot because I'm this little Miss Bouncy Joy person, is not the heroine, not really, but she's a good character too. But in the movie, in the silly little movie, she's like kind of like trying to drag Sadness around and come on, get up, get better, do something. And there's this whole piece, and I realize that in our society, like a lot of times we don't have time to really be sad. It's like not appropriate, or we're busy, or like I got to see clients. I can't go and start crying when I'm trying to see clients or something else. And and I was like, wait a minute, how can this sadness? How does it what happens to it? Why was Sadness the heroine in that little movie Inside Out? And really, not to spoil the movie for those of you who haven't seen it, but really, it's because sadness, her being able to be sad and stay sad and be in that moment, really allowed herself to go, or allowed the being to go deeper into a place of compassion, where her heart could actually get bigger and break open and take in more of the deepness and the richness of life. Actually, when I say richness, I don't mean rich as like happy always, but it's like there's so much to it. There's so much to our being that we can go deeper and find deeper compassion and deeper warmth and deeper caring, and dig deeper into parts of ourselves that we're not even aware are there sometimes. So I feel like that's what these experiences allow us to do. It allows us to have time to be sad, or have time to grieve, or have time to process, or all those things as well. And it's like the death ritual I went to in Connecticut a long time ago. And Malidoma Somé who had led a death ritual about how the process of dying is, and that we in America, he said, we don't really honor it. We don't give it time. We just have these little uh, ceremonies, and then we think we're good. And the weekend was a whole time. Has anyone ever done any of his workshops? His name is Malidoma Somé, and he's an African man who has come and he was doing a workshop at the Kripalu Yoga Center. That was a while ago, and I got to participate in it. And what we did is we built an altar. This is a mini altar, but we built an altar at the end of the room, and it was a long room, and then all of the people were in this end of the room, and the whole weekend we would just allow people to walk across the room towards the altar and be able to be with their grief for as long as they need to, and someone stood behind them to just be with them, to just be an observer, or to be a, a listener, or to be there as a witness. That's what it was. It was just a witness. And he was drumming actually the whole time. And actually, after part of it, he actually asked me to drum because I'm a drummer, and he asked me to drum with him after like hours and hours of doing this ritual. And so I was drumming, and I really got into this zone. And I did my own grieving ritual. I had thought I had grieved my mother's passing, but I actually hadn't. I had lots of things to really work through. And we were all able to go across and move the energy. And he said, it's like when we grieve a little, it's like a tiny little trickle, and it doesn't allow us to heal and move that energy anywhere. It's just like it has to take so long because it's a trickle. But when we do processes, and we do healing energy together, and we do some kind of ritual things like that, that actually it's like a stream or a river, and the energy just flows really fully and allows us to move that stuff that's within us clearly through and out. And it's like all that energy. I've seen it so many times. I saw it in that exploration at Kripalu. I've done it in different ways. In China with Qigong, I had this Qigong master give a workshop, and he was across the room about as far as me from, or further than Carrie is, and I was in a chair, and he was like moving the energy, and I like fell back off my chair because there was so much power in just that intention, or that commitment to the energy flow of his being, and his not just mind, but allowing that belief and that movement to happen. And so now we're going to experience a little bit from Carrie and Kendall about some energy movement, and how to perhaps move that through to our sisters and brothers in Aina in Maui. So here we are. Okay, thank you.
I like to sit. I get too nervous.
Oh, I can just sit on them. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll go down here. There we go.
Coconut lime punch over there. If you get thirsty, and it's good water. And there's no sugar. It's only coconut water, filtered water, and lime.
Yay. So first, probably everybody had it by now, but okay. Thank you. Perfect. So Kendall and I were trying to, as many of us were in this last almost 2 weeks now, this really challenging time, come up with ways to help alongside everything else, all the assistance, all the beautiful coming together that we've seen in our community. What a incredibly beautiful place that we live in, not just in the obvious ways, but in the spirit of the people and of the Aina, and how we come together always, but especially in these really, really challenging times. So obviously our hearts go out to our sisters and brothers in Maui, and it's this thing where we really want to act, we really want to do, we really want to jump in, and that's so essential. And yet we also have to know that this is a continuous journey, something that we have to be in for the long haul, right? So maintaining our own balance, filling up our own cup so that we can overflow and extend, that giving, that sharing, that caring is so vital. And so we wanted to come up with a little process today. Kendall and I are Reiki teachers. We've been training students. We have a few students here and a few online, I think. So That's really special. And we've been wanting to also do some Reiki shares. So we thought we might kind of combine worlds and take you guys through a Reiki process. And I know a lot of you probably know what Reiki is. Reiki, as Dr. Lurie was sharing about chi and how to flow chi and how you can really work with this vital force, is another way of working with that vital force. So ki being chi, mana, prana, that vital life force, that universal life force that is accessible to all of us, that's flowing through all of us, that is really our essence, right? That which animates us, that which sustains us and nourishes us. We can actively practice and commit to working with that energy to be able to not just heal ourselves, but to extend that healing out to others, to hold a space, a healing space for others to also receive that energy and fill their own cup. And when I say that, we are not the healers. We, like I said, are holding a healing space for that healing energy to flow. And the recipient, be that whoever that is, whether we're working on a client or whether that's a space that needs our assistance, a physical place or a family, an ohana, or an individual on the other side of the world, we can hold that space for that individual or that literally anything. It's not just obviously accessible to humans. We can extend that to the land, to all the creatures, to this beautiful world and every aspect of it. So that said, Reiki is just one way of working with that energy, and it literally means divinely guided universal life force. If you want to put it, that's one translation. Another translation is soul energy. So we all know we're working with energy, we're sharing energy all day long. This is really that purest vital force, that source energy that we're talking about. So when we open ourselves, when we step into that universal current to be on that frequency, to be accessible to that frequency, we are able to actually harness and work with this energy and flow it intentionally through ourselves, but also to others. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do that for Maui. And I think everybody got the thing. And if you're watching on the live stream, you probably have the links. We are going to each commit to a family over in Maui. They're on the links there. There are the GoFundMe links, and there are photos for some of them or stories for others. But these are all families who have been deeply affected and really need support, financial support, obviously, but also our energetic support. So in this way, we can do both. Today, we're going to hold space, commit to that family, to hold that energy, to hold that beautiful healing for them to receive it if they like. And we call this kind of I guess you could say it's like an energetic consent. We can flow that energy. It's totally up to an individual whether they want to open to receive that. So we just open it and know that it's there should they want to receive it, right? We're going to hold that space. We have our names of our ohana. Hopefully you wrote that down, whoever you decided to commit to today. So in Reiki, that said, obviously it's not bound by time or space or our ideas of time or space, right? So we often in our Reiki practice use a surrogate or a representation of who it is or what it is that we are sending Reiki to, if they're not able to be in our physical space. So for today, we're going to use the name and a stone. And after that, we're going to place that stone on this altar, which is our representation of Maui, Hawaii, spreading out through the world. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Yay. Anything else to add to that, Kendall?
No.
Sorry, I always. Okay. Does everybody have their name and their stone ready? Okay, cool. And just to piggyback on that, we are going to share this in this space. Kendall and I are going to guide a process. But after this, please, 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 by all means, then click that link to donate to that family, whatever you can, whatever is available, and share that out so that that may amplify and receive. The other thing that we can do with this beautiful energy, with this Reiki, is we can amplify intentions, we can amplify our commitments, we can amplify or extend, give it kind of an extra kind of push, right? So if you're able to then send that energy to not just the family, but also to that support for them, that can really amplify its spreading out. Cool. All right. So everybody hold your, oh, actually, you know what? set your name and your stone down in Reiki, like all. Did everyone get one? Good? Cool. Okay. And obviously, if you're at home watching this or watching the recording, you can just work with the name. You can hold the photo of the person that you're sending in your vision. You don't have to have a physical representation. It just helps our our humanness to have that. Beautiful. And actually, you know what? Let's put this out a little bit. And then we're all in a little bit of a circle here. But as I was saying, sorry, we always start with ourselves. So as I was saying before, how can we be of service? How can we be sharing out this beautiful light if we're not first available to receive that? So in all cases, we receive to then share, right? And that's that healthy balance. So we're going to fill up our own cup first, and then we're going to focus on our ohana that we're committing to today. So just go ahead and take any kind of inhale, but let out a nice big exhale. And just feel that energy flowing out, any excess static kind of falling away. You can do a few of those if that feels good. Sometimes just that big exhale. Let it all go, just fully landing right here, right now. And when you feel settled and grounded, just begin to take nice, slow, even inhalations through the nose. And really let your belly kind of hang out, let it be loose. We really want to feel that belly expanding when we inhale deep into the lungs. And open your palms, just have them open on the knees, just being available to receive this beautiful energy. And in Reiki, we do a breathing meditation called Joshin Kokyu Ho, which is a purifying breath so that we purify our own system. So really for this, it's nice to just have a visualization. So just imagining or feeling or sensing your connection to the divine, to source, to the universe, God, Goddess, whatever your language is, just take a moment to feel that connection. Maybe even imagining or feeling or sensing a beautiful sphere of light hovering there above the body. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's many colors, maybe it's gold or silver, just letting it be whatever it is. And just breathe that in slowly, evenly, gently through the nose, letting it flow down into the belly to expand the belly deep into the na'au. This is where our essence, our true essence, the home of Reiki in the body. So we're just letting those meet. And on the exhale, it flows and it expands. And sometimes it can be a little challenging to breathe into our belly. So just let it come available as it comes with every breath. Just maybe even if it helps to place a hand there, just feeling the belly inflate and press gently against the hand. You can even take that other hand and place it on the small of your back. You're now breathing into this space just below the navel, but really into that space closer to the spine, sort of between your palms now. This is our Tanden, again, seen to be home of Reiki in the body. This is where our vital force, our bowl of light, our true essence resides. So when we breathe into this space, we're breathing into our own internal, limitless, expansive, timeless self. And on every exhale, feel it flowing through the body, maybe feeling that light flooding through the veins, through the tissue, through the bones, through every fiber of your being. And just keep breathing into that space, maybe having even a gentle focus now simultaneously there at that space between the eyebrows, that third eye point. And just keep flowing and expanding this beautiful energy. And when you feel that peace, when you feel that oneness in your own time, you can bring the hands just there to the heart space, just bringing the palms together. Two hands coming together. We call this gasho. This is where we come into our center, the meeting of heaven and earth, all of the elements. coming into right relationship with all that is. And just breathing into this space, filling up the na'au, filling it up to expand into the heart. Maybe feeling it now flowing on the exhale into the palms of the hands, maybe feeling the palms of the hands kind of electrified or feeling a gentle pulsing. You can even take the hands and kind of place them maybe an inch apart just to see if you can sense or tune into that energy that's flowing there. And when you tune into that, go ahead and just intuitively place your hands anywhere on the body that you feel called to place them. They know where to go, just let them be guided. And just take a moment to breathe into that space, breathing in compassion and softness. On your exhale, feeling that energy flow out of the palms. And just taking one more minute to allow the hands to travel anywhere around the body if they want to place on the body. Sometimes they just want to sort of move through the field, kind of cleansing and clearing any of that debris or dust on the field around the body. We're just giving ourselves a little light bath. And remembering to use the breath to intensify and flow that beautiful energy. And I'll just give you about a minute. And staying in this beautiful space, we're going to begin our intention for this individual or this ohana that you have in your hands. You can just pick up that piece of paper and that stone if you have it, or just hold that picture, that vision of them in your mind's eye if that's what's available. And we're going to bring those hands back to the heart, back to two hands coming together, just placing that individual or that ohana in between the hands. And again, with every breath, we are just allowing this beautiful current, this purest life force, the love and power of the universe, unconditional love just flowing. And keeping the palms together, just drawing the hands up now to the third eye point. This is Reiji Ho. This is the indication of spirit. This is where we invite in any guides, guardians, allies to assist this process, and ask that we become an instrument stepping in to this surrender of this all that is, this greatest vital force. Asking that the recipient be open to receive this energy in just the perfect time and space and ways, trusting that the intelligence of this energy, the intelligence of the mind, body, spirit of the recipient draws in exactly what it needs, when it needs. And then for the next few minutes, you can just, once again, allow the hands to go where they like to go. Maybe you'd like to hold this ohana in one hand, maybe placing the other hand over the other hand. Just again, feeling that beautiful energy flowing through the palms. Reiki is also not limited to flow through the hands, though that's where we often feel it the strongest. We can also send Reiki through the breath, through the eyes. So feel free to send this beautiful energy in any way that feels appropriate. And if you are Reiki attuned, as I know some of you are, you can work with your symbols.
Beginning to deepen the breath, coming back into your own body as you seal off the energy to the family. Maybe wrapping it in a beautiful luminous golden light. Maybe blowing it with your breath to complete the process. Just coming back to the sweetness and rhythm of your own breath. Returning to the frequency in your heart. That frequency of unconditional love and grace and compassion, bringing the hands back into that heart space. Maybe still feeling that Reiki energy as it interlaces through all the channels and energy tubes that connect through the fingers throughout the rest of the body. And just closing with any personal prayers in that language of heart. You're bowing the head to the heart space to seal your practice. And when you feel complete, gently opening up the eyes, coming back to our circle here.
And just whenever you feel called, you can place your family here on our Maui altar. Thank you guys. It's beautiful.
I was wondering, we're kind of, we're flowing with the energy here today. And I was wondering, Carlos, since we're working a lot today with energy, or today we're working a bit with energy, and as a spiritual organization, we are kind of touching on the things that are intangible a lot, and you have a passing thing that might be going on tomorrow or soon, right? Yes, yes, and so we're wondering if I was wondering if it felt comfortable for you if we could do a little energy work for you today, since everyone is sort of charged up, um, and so I don't know, Carrie, if you feel like if sitting in the middle or however. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to. It, it doesn't have to be long, and it has to feel comfortable, But I feel like we all have so much to just share with each other in community, and it's wonderful to even you know at the unexpected. You didn't come, you come here for that today, but it's part of what's unfolding. If that it'd be great. I like to share that one another of my very dear friends is having surgery tomorrow for cancer, here on Oahu, and oh, congratulations! So we have someone here that's been in remission from cancer since January, and there might be other people to hold in your space as well, of course, and you know, but it's since Carlos is right here. Thank you. You can help orchestrate.
And maybe just here, and then we can work around you.
And I really did want to share that, when I was in China, that qigong workshop was so powerful. We had people from all different countries, over the world, all around the world, and they just showed us how amazing. Like, we would, at midnight, we would uh, go and do little exercises. One night we went and we all put our hands on a pine tree and felt like the pine cones and just different things like that. So there's so much energy in our hands, as we know. So here we go. Good.
Well, who wants to? We can all do it if you want.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. We could all just sort of send
flowing.
flowing with energy here.
I'm up here, so I'll just go in there. And we're connecting with that truest source, that divine current, life force energy. When you feel that flowing through the hands, you can bring your hands once again to that third eye point, just resting them gently there on the forehead. Asking that our hands be guided maybe like hollow bamboo to allow this beautiful energy just to flow, trusting that it knows where to go and that Carlos knows where to bring it. His higher self, the complex, holistic being of all that he is, drawing it in exactly where it's required. And you just hold the space for it to flow. And when you feel that flowing through the hands, you can just begin to place them. Is it okay to touch? You can place them anywhere on the body that you feel called. Obviously, just letting the hands be guided. And you can touch or you can just cover the hands, whatever feels appropriate. You don't have to actually touch, but the touch is nice. And if you guys have your samples, feel free to use this too. meditation is everyone giving the energy that is. You can feel it kind of energetically when feels like good to go. You can just bring your hands back into prayer at that point, like no rush, just when it happens. At that point, you can ask those beginnings to receive this waking at any time. And continue to work through them in the highest, greatest ways, optimal healing. And then you just seal the practice, sprinkling a little extra light on them, a little Reiki shower. And if somebody could gently just hold his feet, sometimes that helps them to ground back in. And just place hands on the top there.
What a beautiful sight. Look at that. All that green and see all these
We thought you were talking about us.
Well, I was. Then I was gonna say all these beautiful faces, energy, people. I can't see the faces, but I can see the periphery of them. Yeah, thank you for the positive vibes.
Thank you.
But yeah, all the ones that are saying that are committing to the land, that's like something good to commit.
That inseparable, like mixing self, the world, the land, and this.
It feeds us. It's like, just pump stuff up so we can sustain. Thank you. Oh,
There's a little food and shake some things over there. We can stay. People want to build up this to do that too. We got to keep people connected about November 19th. Okay, the third Sunday in November, right before Thanksgiving. That's good. We might do something a little bit more. A little bit. Give me that?
Yeah, I believe I'm coming back to get it.
Who knows where yet?
No. If Nicole lets me go.
I love.
thank you.
If you can use a night of music and movement, come back next Saturday. There'll be two bands playing here.
Oh, that might be something.
Next Saturday.
Tuesday,
Well,
yeah.
we leave. We're
That
gonna
might
leave
be
for LA
something.
on the 28th.
It starts early, right?
7:30.
That's where I did mine too. Did you?
Done by
Yeah.
10.
I went back to California for all my treatments.
What's your bedtime these days? 9?
Hey,
Uterus?
that is
Oh,
big.
wow.
There's,
So young.
Yeah,
I'm very young for it. Yeah.
So, what did you have?
I had endometrial, so in my uterus. Yeah. So I did like radiation, chemo, immunotherapy.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm like a different person since January.
Yeah.
But I relate, like it changed a lot of things. Yeah. Better, committed to my health a lot differently. Diet, lifestyle. Yeah.
Not just diet. It's
Do you keep
lifestyle.
lifestyle? You keep a certain diet now? Less strict. Yeah, less strict, but just learn to eat differently.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, stay off of sugar. What about carbs? Are you any of the
Yeah.
carbs?
Now more. Yeah, but during the treatments, it was just really hard to eat anything. You were having some radical. Yeah, yeah.
What about the cannabis? Did you do any cannabis?
I did like for the pain. But now I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, but at that time I did. Yeah. But
Did they remove your uterus?
yeah.
Maybe when it was
with the Da Vinci.
Yep. And then the reason that they had to do the other stuff is because I had bumps in my diaphragm, so we had to. Yeah, but it was.
Did you go to UCLA?
I went to Cedar Sinai.
Oh, that's where I think that's where you went.